The human body is essentially a sprawling metropolis, populated by trillions of individual cells. For you to simply survive, all of those separate cells have to coordinate their actions continuously. Your neural system acts as the body's electrical grid. It sends rapid, point-to-point signals, allowing you to react to a hot stove or catch a falling object in an instant. But an electrical grid has a strict physical limit. Nerve fibers do not connect to every single cell in your body, and the signals they send are inherently short-lived. To manage the long-term coordination required to keep a body functioning day after day, you rely on an entirely different system, the endocrine network. Instead of electrical sparks, this system communicates using hormones. These are non-nutrient chemicals produced in tiny trace amounts, which travel through your bloodstream to carry messages to distant target organs. While your nerves command immediate reactions, your endocrine system is the architect of sustained growth, energy storage, and whole body harmony. This medical illustration maps the geography of that chemical network. Endocrine glands are distributed from the brain down through the abdomen. Inside the brain, the hypothalamus sits directly above the pituitary gland, resting in a protective bony cavity. The hypothalamus acts as the master strategist. It synthesizes specific lilacing and inhibiting hormones, which dictate exactly what the pituitary gland will secrete to the rest of the body. Moving to the neck, we find the thyroid gland wrapping around the trachea, along with 4 tiny parathyroid glands positioned on its backside. These tissues control the body's internal speed. The thyroid regulates your basal metabolic rate, while parathyroids maintain the critical balance of blood calcium. Working together, these upper body glands form a foundational command system that establishes your baseline energy levels and ensures skeletal stability. Moving to the kidneys, the adrenal glands act as the body's emergency armory. The cross-section reveals 2 zones. The inner medulla pumps out adrenaline during sudden stress, while the outer cortex manages longer-term stress and electrolyte balance. Nearby sits the pancreas. Within its tissue are clusters of cells called the islets of Langerhans, which act as a dual-purpose organ to monitor your blood sugar levels. This seesaw model illustrates their relationship. Insulin lowers blood sugar after a meal, while glucagon raises it back up when energy is needed, maintaining a steady homeostasis. Finally, the gonads, the testes in males and ovaries in females, serve as the hubs for reproductive development and the maintenance of secondary sex characteristics. As a unit, these abdominal glands act as dynamic responders, constantly adjusting your internal chemistry to survive both routine metabolism and sudden danger. But how do these trace chemicals actually force a physical change once they reach their target tissues? For protein hormones, the action happens at the border. The hormone slots into a specific receptor on the cell's outer membrane, triggering a cascade of secondary messengers inside to carry out the instruction. Steroid hormones take a more direct route. The hormone passes through the cell membrane, enters the nucleus, and binds with intracellular receptors to directly alter the cell's gene expression. Because hormones dictate behavior on such a massive scale, the system requires perfect calibration. Even a slight deviation in these levels leads to severe physical complications. This hysterical photograph demonstrates gigantism. It is the result of the pituitary gland over-secreting growth hormone, triggering abnormal and massive bodily growth. Thyroid imbalance produces equally visible effects. A lack of iodine in the diet prevents the synthesis of thyroid hormones, causing the gland to enlarge into a condition called goiter. From the baseline speed of metabolism to the multi-year journey of physical growth, these chemical messengers provide the essential coordination that makes complex life possible. They are the silent conductors, integrating trillions of isolated cells into a single living harmony.